Hello and good evening. Thank you for joining us for the Uplifting Women's segment of the Welfare Warriors International Women's Day celebration. I'm so very happy that you guys could join us today. I have invited two of my dear friends, Chantel Bowen and LaQuita Herbert, to discuss with us their approach to uplifting women in all the things that they do and that they are. I think we'll go ahead and start the interview off. Chantel, would you like to tell us what made you decide to use yoga to help yourself and how you were
Yeah,
introduced?
yes, I am so excited to share. So, I actually began my yoga journey about 4 years ago, and you are actually the person who introduced me to yoga initially. I had probably about 5 years ago saw something called Fat Girl Yoga, and to me, that seemed pretty empowering. Like, wow, yoga could be for bigger bodies. Prior to ever seeing that advertisement, I just didn't believe that yoga was for me because one, I didn't feel like I had the complexion. It seemed to be extremely white, which hopefully during this conversation we can dispel that myth. And also, when it is advertised, you typically see smaller bodies. When I was introduced to yoga with you, it was through Embody Yoga, which is ran by Black women. So I instantly felt more comfortable with the idea of actually even exploring the practice. And I instantly fell in love with yoga. Not having a lot of experience with any type of physical fitness, I didn't have a positive relationship with exercise. And what I quickly realized with yoga is, although it is very much exercise, it's also meditation. And it definitely was able to just help me in many different areas of my life. Then I began to do my own research and was able to find out that yoga definitely had origins in Africa. It's actually called Arianka. Well, and that was actually goddess poses before the term yoga was ever created. So I
Mm,
realized, like, okay, well, now that I do understand that we do have a historical connection to yoga, it definitely made me more interested. And then I was able to find out about Kemetic yoga, which is African yoga, and I just hit the track running from there.
that is awesome. That is really awesome. One of the things that I liked about yoga right away is that, even it's really good to have a practitioner with you, but it is also something that moms and whether you're single or married or whomever, you can do in the privacy of your own home, find that quiet space, take that time to meditate, and then lean into those poses and really get your day started going there. So, if you would like, if you feel comfortable with sharing it with us, briefly describe some of the obstacles that you may have faced, as part of your history. Anything that you would feel comfortable sharing, and how you've been able to overcome them, and if yoga is involved with that, definitely mention that as well.
Yes, for sure. And it does all, I'm so sorry, it does
That's
all tie
okay.
in. It does all tie in together. For myself, again, the meditation component of yoga definitely was something that kept me engaged because I had a background of, although I am remarried now, of being a single mother after going through divorce and all of the anxieties that come along with that, the guilt of just being a single parent and wanting to make sure that my children had all of their needs met, and just constantly feeling like I had no time for myself at the end of the day or any day. And then I realized that in order for my children to be their best selves, they needed to have their mother be her best self. So
Amen.
I really began to just look at different therapeutic options. And what I realized in my journey to yoga is there's something they refer to as samskaras, which is basically negative thoughts.
Mhm.
And the practice of yoga with the deep breathing basically teaches you how to inhale positivity and exhale a lot of those negative thoughts and things of that nature. So it really helped me. The practice of yoga helped me in every other area of my life because I was able to learn deep breathing techniques. I was able to learn how to really tap into myself when I felt overwhelmed. And I was also able to learn how to share yoga with my family. I have sons, boys, Black boys who in this society can be considered hyper aggressive, things of that nature. And for me,
Mhm.
I felt that it's very important early to teach my sons how to have discipline and self control. So I began to bring them to the mat with me. At first, they were just curious, Mom, what are you constantly doing? What is that? And when I was
Mhm.
able to bring them to the mat and really just start with the deep inhales and exhales and really just showing them how to connect with their bodies and control their breath, it actually became a
Mhm.
practice that we could do together. I decided that I needed to up my game and not just attend yoga, but actually learn how to instruct yoga because I wanted to make sure that I could share this practice with people that look like me. Yoga is not always automatically accessible because it can be costly. I have, especially in the pandemic, come up with a very cost affordable opportunity for anyone to practice yoga, much like the platform we're using now via Zoom. I offer reduced packages so that our families can practice. And I'm very big on if only one person in the family has even purchased a class, the entire family should practice together. I do think it's a way to just bring calmness and a way to bring relaxation over the household. For
I
me,
love that. Yep. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I really, really, really do love that because it sounds like it's a way of encouraging mental health and a sense of personal peace, you know what I mean? And then spreading that in your family as well, you know what I mean? And just teaching that self-discipline and that self-calm and getting control over, your mental without any sort of outside sort of influences required. Because I think that, many of us, and I'm definitely one of them, that will turn to that post work glass of wine, or Lord knows I love margaritas.
yes.
But sometimes that isn't always good for us. And then, especially to be able to bring your kids into that, I think that is just a beautiful thing. Chantel, can you tell me what is the name of your business again and where can we find you, love?
Yes, yes. So the name of my business is Legacy Yoga, and you can find us on Facebook. We are Legacy Yoga. We do have a page, and all of the information that you may need is there: website, contact number, our class schedule. And
Yeah.
you can always feel free to message me. Again, my passion is to bring yoga to our communities that look like us. So I never want the price to be a barrier. Let's first just discuss your needs and what your interest is in doing the practice, and we can always build out a plan that would be supportive to your family. So again, that is Legacy Yoga and Legacy Yoga on Facebook.
Hey, well, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing with us and educating us about the yoga practice, and also sharing with us how you've used it to uplift not only yourself, but also women in our community and, everyone at large. So with that, I will transfer the conversation over to LaQuita. Hey, LaQuita, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, girl, stuttering. Been doing this all day.
It's okay. We all need some sleep.
Man, burning that candle at both ends is not good. So yeah, we invited LaQuita today because she is a poetress. This girl has some words that you ain't never heard and will definitely touch your heart. And with that, I thought I would go ahead and kick it off to you. Please feel free to introduce yourself, what you do, who you are, and kick some knowledge, girlfriend.
Okay, so first and foremost, I am a single mom to two. I have a boy and a girl, preteen and a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Um, And I write. One of my favorite hobbies to do is writing, and also inspiring and motivating. I would say others. My audience is more so women, but I don't know. I sometimes I think it can motivate and inspire others as well. So I'm not just gonna say women, but that's my ultimate audience though. Um, I actually wrote a poetry book that's on Amazon, Beautiful Emotions from a Lyrical Soul. And if it was okay, I would like to, share a couple poems, with you ladies.
Please do. Please
Yes,
do.
please.
So this first one is called Fallen Tears. And then after I read it, I want to tell you why I actually wrote it. Fallen tears only known to the unknown, for which they don't understand their own meaning. Tears to the lost child with the upbringing, which lack of nurture and home giving. Tears to the lonely ones, which no one sees their tears, because it's hidden between the heart and the mind, but yet have not had the courage for them to fall. Tears to the economic system, which left us to believe in the lowest and repeating cycles that go unnoticed. Tears to
Mhm.
the ones that can't speak, not because of lack of language, but they have become so numb to what they call life that sucks the energy all the way out to their thumbs.
Mm.
Tears to the woman, tears to the woman for picking up all pieces, but left to feel that there is no form of peace in all four seasons. Tears to the man lost in the system, not knowing that all they're doing is bringing their kids with them due to more money for prison and not our education system.
Mm.
Tears to my mouth in which I have no filter, expressing the known to the unknown, and sometimes it only takes a falling tear.
Mm. Hey, I can't hardly snap, but hey, I like
I
it,
wrote
girl.
that. I wrote that based upon my motherhood with my children, and how, as I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but like, it's sometimes it's hard for our skin color, and I talk to my kids all the time about, and I'm honest with my children about things that's going on in this world. I've actually read this to my children, and my son asked me like, Mom, is this something you just wrote, or is this true? I said, this is very true. I said, and that's the point. It's things that goes on. It's unknown things that go unnoticed. So I wanted to make that very known. So that's why I made a part of my poetry book to spread it, everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking to that too, I was just having a conversation with another mother and friend earlier today about how typically, and especially myself, I get so frustrated and upset sometimes. I cry by myself, and I feel a certain
Hmm.
type of way about crying around people and letting people see me cry, or even really even letting people see me sweat,
Yeah.
and how you might get to one of the moments, and once you let it out, then you can probably readdress it in another way, say a prayer to yourself, calm down, take a nap,
Yes.
whatever you got to do, you know but it's definitely not good to hold that emotion in, and we do need to let it out. So
To let it
i
out.
love i love that. I respect that. Yeah. You got
Yep.
another one for us, sis?
Yeah. I wrote this for my kids, and I also read this to my kids as well.
Okay. Okay.
This is exactly for my kids. It goes. It's called Well Taught. You can take the first step and I will follow. You
Mm.
can speak your first word and I will listen. You can pick up a pen and I'll write and I'll help you. You can say I'm hungry and I'll cook. You can cry and I'll lend you a shoulder. You can ask for help and I'll be willing. You can say come here and I'll come. You can try your hardest and I'll make it easy. You can always speak your mind and I won't judge. You could do whatever you put your heart into, but don't ever let me hear you say cannot, because you were taught those two words at separate times. So let them stay apart so you won't put them together. And it's called
Mm.
Will Taught, like I said from the beginning, but I wrote that for my children.
Hey, I like that one too.
Hmm.
Yes, that is good.
Writing has become therapy to my thoughts. Writing has become therapy for my life, just period. Like, we as women, people call us emotional creatures. And okay, maybe we are. but also women hold a lot of titles as well. Like we have a lot of jobs, we hold a lot of titles. So yes, we have mixed emotions sometimes. And I feel like it's okay for us to express those. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and women need to know that it's okay for you to express those. No, it doesn't make you crazy. It doesn't make it seem like something is wrong with you. Express those emotions, period.
I really do feel like when people say that, women are emotional creatures, I think we have been socially groomed to a degree. And it's a
Yep.
good thing because, we often find ourselves in that space of being nurturers. And so we have a more, in my humble opinion, we have a more refined intellectual capacity to verbalize our emotions, and
Mm-hmm.
in that verbalization and in that speaking our truths and in that expressing ourselves in our emotions, we're able to help and heal others. And
Yep.
I really do believe that we need to start socializing our sons and our boys to do the
Mm-hmm.
same, because that will also make them better men. It won't make them weaker men, but I think that
Right.
will make them more intellectually capable of establishing better relationships and expressing themselves in ways other than what is the standard male way of speaking their mind, that domineering force that they have in themselves. So but I
I
love that.
agree.
That's what's up.
Yes, and
I
if I
agree.
could just chime in for a second with that,
Come on,
I
sis.
definitely believe in what you're saying, that society teaches us that being emotional is a bad thing.
Yes.
When I believe the stark opposite, that we should tap into our emotions as our
Yes.
God-given right. And if we were
Yes.
more emotional instead of emotionless, I think that we would be more connected as a people, more
Amen.
healthier as a society, and we would have stronger families. So I know
Amen
that
to
I'm
that.
working internally to learn to embrace my emotions, because I've been taught that it's a bad thing, but
Me too.
actually our emotions are our gift and our strength.
They're
Amen.
beautiful. Our
Yep.
emotions are beautiful. That's why I wrote the book. I said that's why I called it beautiful emotions from a lyrical soul, because their emotions are beautiful.
Yes, they
Emotions
are.
can create beautiful things. You know what I mean? And like I said, I call myself a poet of beauty, or beauty of words, because sometimes the words that come out of my mouth, even I scare myself sometimes, but it's so beautiful to the point to where I uplift a lot of people, a lot of women, um, and that's what helped me, create the movement that I made on social media. Give me my beauty back. I found it first because not only, that's a part of an emotion as well, and people should be able to share their stories and be okay with it and embrace it, because our scars are the most beautiful part of us. You know what I mean? And that mixes in with our emotions, and everybody just needs to know that it's okay. It's okay to share your story. It's okay to express your emotions, and it's okay to cry. It's okay.
Yeah, I think to a real large degree that our emotions are what makes us human. We're not just driven off of instinct and just hormones. We have that intellectual capacity to process the events and things that we see and experience and that are going on around us, and however that comes out of us, it's a beautiful thing. So,
It
I really do. I love that. You got another one for us. This is how we doing on time, Shani.
is.
We are a bit over time, about 1 minute.
We are 1 minute over time. With that, can I say, Quita, do you want to tell us how to find you? What social media platforms are you on? How do we
um,
find your book and your business? Come on, shout yourself out, sis.
all right. So my poetry book is called Beautiful Emotions from a Lyrical Soul, and it's on Amazon, but it's only Kindle edition at the time. You can find it on Amazon. Also, I have a link on my Instagram page. My Instagram page is A Beauty of Words. There's a link on there to where it's my website on there, a beautyofwords.com. It's a link for my book. Just in case you don't want to go directly on Amazon, you can just go to that link and it goes directly to my book. And it's also a link on there for me and my sister's YouTube page as well. But that's where you can find everything. On my link on Instagram, again, it's A Beauty of Words.
Okay.
And my website is a beautyofwords.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. And I love your poetry. So the girl, she gets down. She got a couple. And you know what? Now that I think about it, we got something else to talk about too, because that just reminded me of something else. My sister Chantel here is also working on a book, and it's a reason why we do stuff. I'm telling you. Uh, and
Man.
and so for the third section, I would like to go ahead and share my way of uplifting women. You guys know that prior to the pandemic, I can be somewhat of a party animal. I love to get out and about. I spend too much time at home, and I start feeling a certain type of way. And for my section, I would like to promote mommycations. Now,
Mm.
what is a mommycation? Getting away from your kids, getting away
Mm.
from your kids, getting away from your significant others, getting away. I,
Mm.
I really do love the friends that I have, because the girls that I kick it with, I'm telling you, y'all show up and show out, you know. And a few years ago, I was able to arrange a mommycation. Me and a homegirl of mine wanted to go to a concert. We was like, all right, what we gonna do? How we gonna do it? The concert, the people we wanted to see, it was Erica Badu and Nas, but they was in Detroit. It's like, well, we're gonna take the cheapest mode of transportation. We took the what you call a bus, the whatever bus. Um, Look, I bought the tickets, she paid for the hotel room, we split the food, you know, and made our little plans, told the men, figure it out, and drop us off at the train station so we can get to Chicago, catch the what they call that bus. I don't know what you call it. It was like $20. But you don't just have to do that though. Sometimes I think it's just really good for us women, like even what we're doing now. You guys don't know how happy I am to see y'all face. Like, I don't get a chance to talk to my friends anymore and just commiserate and just spend that time outside of the house. Whether it be going to Summerfest, going to the lake. Um, I've been known to hook up with my girlfriends at Cooper's Hawk, to drink wine, whatever it is you can do. And it doesn't always have to be overnight, because I know a lot of us, we don't have, people that we trust to watch our kids. But, if we could just get a little bit, sometimes it's just getting that little bit of fresh air. So you come back to yourself again. And especially as a woman and a mother, I'm married now, but I remember, what it was like, when I was single, and, and I just, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, them kids will drive you crazy. And so
Mm.
it is important to try your best to get in that me time. Now, I have to stress real quick, and I don't want to talk too long, that me time doesn't mean being irresponsible.
I
It
agree.
it it doesn't mean avoid it. Sometimes that me time means actually being responsible and taking that personal inventory to say, okay, let me stop for a second and do a personal inventory and see what's going on with what I got going on in my life or whatever. And what can I do to make some space? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I like to do that. And just having that time to yourself, to or and definitely with your homegirls, when you have a friend or anybody that will actually show up and be about their life and do it with you. Get lost. Get lost in the best way possible. Get your tail up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Go to Chicago, go to Racine, go
Man,
there's so many free resources.
it
There's
is.
there's the quarry, I think, is in Racine. We like to take the kids up to the bay, to Bay Beach, but that don't mean you got to take them with you. You know what I mean? If it's just driving up there, because I think we do find ourselves as women and mother and as caretakers in general, just you know putting 1000% into our kids and in our families, and we look up and
Yeah.
next thing you know, because I'm telling you, if you look in my kids closet, them girls got it. I'm broke, I'm the bum in the house.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but mommycations are very important. And just to me, that just means taking that time to dedicate to yourself, to spend time with yourself, with other mothers and women and friends, so that you can kind of decompress and enjoy yourself. So don't forget about you, because you all you got.
Basically.
So with that, I would like to thank you ladies again for joining me. I really would. I think this is good. We're gonna wrap this up in one take. And you ladies have a wonderful night. Again, you can find LaQuita where? On
On
Instagram.
Instagram. Yep, and there the link is in my bio.
Okay. And then you can find Chantel on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook Legacy Yoga.
Facebook Legacy Yoga, and this will be broadcast on the Welfare Warriors page in celebration of International Women's Day, and we are celebrating women by uplifting them with our voices, our advice, our experience, and our love. You ladies have a good night. Love y'all.
You too.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
I love you too. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Hey, thank you. All right, I think I stopped it.